Hey everybody, it's Corey from Aquarium Co-op. Today I'm going to show you a day in the life of building a fish room on your day off. So I'm going to show you what I want to get done today, and then we'll see what I actually get done. You know, there's going to be lunch breaks and stuff like that, and so yeah. I'm going to show you a creepy spider in my fish room too. Like we've got a spider up there. Lots of warmth in here, attracting all the spiders. Anyway, so my goal is to hopefully get this rack of tanks up and running today. And it's only going to be 8 20 gallons, but what I need to do, there's only 3 sitting here because I've already started the work today. It started at 10 a.m. It's now like 11:30 or something. I've already shot a video on how to drill aquariums. But I want to get all the tanks drilled. I want to get all the backs painted black. Install the bulkheads. I need to run drains, so I want to tie into the drain that's over here, and we're going to have that come across over to this corner and back up through the middle here on both tiers. So we're going to have one at the higher level and one at the lower level. I'll probably try and shoot a video explaining what to watch out for when you're shooting or when you're setting something like that up. So we're going to try and get that done. And then I also want to bring in the air. So it's all the way over at the wall here, but I want to bring it all the way down this row through the ceiling so that I can have the air drop straight down. So that's another one. And then, you know, if my day wasn't going to be long enough, I'm going to install water, which that's what like this line is on this tank. These lines are all the water lines going in for the auto water change system. And hopefully I'll have time to shoot a video on how to drill and tap that system and do things like that. But yeah, trials and tribulations of a fish room. I just want to point out that I spent last day off I had, or at least had some time, I think it was Sunday night or something, I don't remember anymore, cleaning up the fish room. And so I moved around lots of stuff. I got a bench set up, which was awesome. You know, I moved that around. And there used to be a bunch more stuff over here. I got the water tank set up, and it used to be really nice and clean here. And then I got married on Monday, and so, you know, being that there was a nice warm clean spot here in my fish room, it got turned into a planting station for all the wedding decorations and stuff like that. So just goes to show, if you're going to make a clean space somewhere that's nice and warm, you better utilize it, otherwise it's going to get used for something else. So today I'll be cleaning up all this as well, and getting on top of it. So I'm just going to tune in during the day and show you different things I'm doing, and hopefully I'll get some stuff done. So stay along for the ride. And wish me luck. So it's 12:15 or so, getting pretty hungry for lunch. I'm going to prep these aquariums right here for paint, and we're going to do it inside. I'm not going to do spray paint, I'm going to roll it on because it's too cold outside at the moment. It's going to take all day to cure. Probably while I eat some lunch, I'm going to start editing the first video I shot today, and already I'm going to see that I cannot get this, everything I want to get done today done. That's how it always goes. But yeah, we're just going to clean up all the, you know, this is almost like glue, but what it is, it's glass dust that's mixed with water that turns white. We want to prep these surfaces so we can paint them and keep working. So when I'm painting, I'm going to start working on the drain system, I think, and I'll be shooting for that too. So we'll check back in a while. First layer of paint on the tanks. It's what time is it now? It's 1 o'clock. Took 45 minutes to prep and get the first layer of paint on. And here's the result. We're going to go have lunch, and then we'll come back at it. It's 2:30, and we've gotten another coat of paint on the tanks, and they're drying. And now I'm shooting a video and working on the plumbing, or the drain, so to speak. And yeah, that's what we've got going on here. And we're going to connect it all together, and you can check out a video on how to do such things. But we've got the piece laid out, cut, and we'll be showing you. Lots of tips and tricks, like how much of a drop you need when you're running pipe, at what length, that type of thing. So make sure you check that out. It's now 3:20. I've gotten the drain put in fully. Next up, we're going to tie in the air, and we'll keep working from there. Let me show you how the drain ended up. So we've got our drain, comes all the way down, cuts over here, ties into the existing drain we had. We go through the wall. We also did some work in here. So the drain's going to come through, and it drains right into our indirect waste line. We also elevated the sink because I was having problems with the way this flexible tube, it was too short, and so it wasn't working correctly. Now it's almost like an inch too high, but it works. And so yeah, now that's working. So we can focus on bringing the air from basically that wall to where I am, all the way across the ceiling here. And so I gotta find the stud up there, start tying in. Oh, my camera is auto-focusing there, but start tying in, and then we can drop some air lines and keep on moving. Tanks are still drying, and 3:20, still lots of time left in the day. We'll see how much more I do before I give up. So yeah, I almost gave up a little bit ago. I thought I was going to have to run to Lowe's or Home Depot because I thought I didn't have any PVC pipe. Well, I wasn't giving up, but you know, once I make a trip to the hardware store, I pretty much end up buying a lot of things, getting frustrated because I don't have all the parts I need. I know if I'm going to finish this project today, which I don't anticipate actually finishing everything, I have to make a trip to Lowe's because I don't have the bulkhead adapters I want to use. I basically use barb fittings and a combination elbow, and I don't have those, and most times I go there they'll have like whatever number I need -2, so it's never enough to complete the project anyway. I gotta go to multiple places, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep trucking along as far as I can truck along with the parts I have, then I'll make a run and we'll see if we can keep going. So we'll check back in a while. It's now 4:45. I see I've got stuff on my face from drilling PVC pipe on the ceiling here, but we've got the lines, or we at least have the taps up top here installed, and we brought the PVC all the way across. Got the tanks on the shelves behind me. We'll give you a look what that's going to look like here. So that's what this row is going to look like. Don't have lights or power installed. I want to put a power bar and stuff like that still in. Need to build tops as well. I need to run to Home Depot or Lowe's now. I actually need to buy some parts to go with my drain system, and that's where I'm stuck at the moment. So I'm heading to Lowe's. 4:45. We'll keep going. This is inspiration for everyone to keep trucking through it, because it's a lonely road building a fish room. Let me tell you, the end product is worth it, but many hours go into building a fish room. Unless you've built one, you don't know that. And so yeah, keep trucking. Well, it's now 8 o'clock. I ate dinner, went to Lowe's as predicted. Horrible. I needed schedule 40 PVC pipe. And of course they didn't have any out on the floor, so they had to pull it down with a forklift, and that was a 10-man operation that took about 40 minutes, even though they kept saying, oh, it'll be just a minute. So that took a lot of time, and then I went to Harbor Freight to pick up a 4-foot power strip and a timer, and of course there was 5 people in front of me all returning stuff without receipts and fighting, so that also took time. So I took about an hour and a half that should have taken about 40 minutes. But let's show you what I got done. And this is as much as I'm going to get done tonight, because Got to spend time with the family. Got them in town from the wedding still, so I can't hang out all day. And at this point, we're at about 10 hours working in the fish room. So I'll just recap what I got done. So we got the tanks up. I got the bulkheads installed. I made up all the parts that are going to go into the bulkhead. I haven't put any, holes in the line yet, in the drain line, or affix any of the tubing yet, but that's for another project. We did get the air up, which is good. Air's done. I just gotta drop the lines down now, and they're all, ready for the tanks. And that's for both rows here, this row and the one that's going to be right on this side of it. I've got the drain line all done. We tested it. I did a water change with the timer that I installed. So now from this 330 gallon tote, we will automatically put water that's been kind of off-gassed overnight and correct temperature through all the tanks. So that's nice. What else did I get done? Seems like I should have gotten more done, but it all takes time. I also picked up some wood at Lowe's while I was there. I've got the 4-foot power strip here. Gonna bring the lights home and stuff like that for the tanks. Got the table cleaned off earlier today. Took down T12 lighting. That probably cost me $100 a minute to run. And yeah, so not bad. It's an evolution. The next day off I have, hopefully I can get all these tanks where they just autofill with water, and hopefully get this next row up as well. Some things to think about. I'm gonna see about putting some tanks on the end here, because I'm gonna have a drain line right here, so I can just drain out through the drain. Water will be coming in up top, and so may as well. So these are 16-inch blocks here, and I'm going to have another 16-inch block over here to hold more tanks, and then probably about 4 inches here. So what that means is I've got about a 36-inch span for my rows, and I could put a 40 beater. That's what I was originally thinking. That's why I've got some 40 beaters sitting over here. But I could only do that one high, so I could put like one 40 breeder and call it done, or I can do, I believe I'll be able to do a double stack of 29 gallon tanks, and maybe that makes more sense to have 29s anyway, because I'm going to have rows of 40 gallon tanks over there, so it'll be another size for me to have, plus a 30 gallon tank is only going to come out to roughly, so I'm thinking it's only going to come out to here, but really I'm going to put it on blocks, and so it's going to come out 16 inches no matter what I do. So it'll come out 16 inches, whereas the 40 breeder will come out 18 inches, so I'm only saving a little bit of room, and I could probably easily give up, I've got a lot of room here, so I can easily give up that extra 2 inches if I want. So we'll have to see. I think the big difference is going to be, I can't put that in until I put in this other row, because on paper it'll work out to be exactly 36 inches. In practice it might work out that, it turns out, for all I know, this bulkhead plus another bulkhead, they're going to touch each other or something weird. It shouldn't, but that being said, it could, and that would be bad, and so therefore we would have to adjust it. But in theory, when I put them on this side, there'll be a bulkhead here, and then this side, the tanks are over here, the bulkhead will be right here, and so they should never hit the same. But it's a lot of forward thinking and planning ahead to avoid things like that. Also, I've considered putting in some 2x4s here to connect this 2x4 and that 2x4, and so this runs vertically,
And I'm thinking I do that on these two, so it kind of all ties it together here and on the other side. That'll give it a little bit more support if there was an earthquake or something like that. Not that it's going to save it, but it will be a little more sturdy. And then this one, I think, is going to go about 7 feet tall. Right over here, we're using bricks to go up there, and I was going to put a whole other shelf, but my logic is this is about as tall as I can reach anyway. And so let's say I put a sheet of plywood or something. I've only got about a foot to the ceiling anyway, and there's not a lot of storage there. So I could drop it, you know, I could just have just this fill line going over here. And the reason I'm even going up this high is I want to keep the water above all the tanks, so that way there's never a siphon issue. And then I want to keep the power above the tanks as well, like we have over here. The power is above, so no matter what happens, that is never going to get, I can't say it'll never get wet, but it's not going to be, water won't be draining anywhere near that. That's the important part. So that's why I have to go vertical no matter what I do. And you know, some other thoughts are, without even thinking about it really, I've got some space right here, and I also have some space on the other side. If I grab my tape measure, so I've got you know, 7.5 inches, but I could also steal some inches out of the middle here, so like another 7.5 inches, and like another 7 inches. So I can get like 21 inches here on this top level, which if I'm at 36 inches, that fits a 40-gallon tank, you know, on this end here. So maybe that makes some sense too, I don't know. So there's definitely going to be some engineering going on at the end of these stands. It wasn't worth it to really engineer over here just because we have a dehumidifier sitting here and I have a door. And so what I was afraid of is if I put an aquarium there, this swings open, it's either A, going to hit blocks and stuff, or B, this handle's going to break an aquarium, or C, this breaks down really easy if I ever need this door to open up more to go to the cold room. And I figure having a little bit of flexibility going into the cold room will help, so that I can run piping and stuff like that. Like I need to run air and drains and all that kind of stuff over here as well. So that's just more stacks of blocks there to build stuff with. But yeah, so I've been documenting everything I've been doing. It definitely takes a little bit longer, but you know, when I was building a fish room, I wished I could look at exactly what people were doing. So instead, I just had to sit there and look at people's videos and try and figure out how they built things. And lots of good ideas out there, but there's a lot of times when you ask a question on the channel, you never get a response back, and you wonder, oh, was that brilliant or was that terrible? And there's lots of things that I've found that work great, but also things that work terrible. Like I'll show you one of the first incarnations here. Killifish keepers and stuff swear it works. It does not work for me. And this is the first fill system I put in, that black line there, and that is drip irrigation tubing. And people swear it works in their fish room. I could not get it to work. I've tried it twice now, and it is cheap. It is wicked cheap to be playing with that stuff. And I really wanted it to work, and it just will not work. So I actually went the opposite end then and got really nice valves from Gemco, Schedule 40 PVC. We tap it, we drill it, then we tap it, then we screw this in, and now we have an adjustable filling system. It works out awesome, and you know, I'm going to show you guys how to do that in another video, just so I can save you guys that same headache, because I wasted probably 3 solid hours planning that between going to Lowe's, finding the parts, wasting the money, installing it, leaking water on the floor. All those 5 things were bad, And now I still have thing number 6, and that is to tear that thing out. And I haven't even done that yet because I wanted to get water in some tanks. So yeah, I can, you know, if we explain how we do stuff to each other, we can save each other a lot of questions and a lot of wasted time, and we can know whether it's for us or not. I was going on forum posts. I wasn't looking at people's videos on how they did it, because no one has a video on how they do drip irrigation system on their automatic water change in their fish room, because it doesn't work. If I, you know, only had a line, like a, you know, the 1-inch line going to a tank, it works fine. Like the tubing itself will hold water, but once it starts punching holes for the adapters, I had 2 out of 8 leak. I got 1 to almost stop leaking, but I didn't want to keep punching holes and plugging to get it to work perfect, because I just thought long term it's another, you know, leak down the road. So that's what I accomplished today. Solid 10 hours working on a fish room. So as you see, 10 hours, didn't quite get even 1 row of 8 tanks done. So far we're at least an hour per aquarium to set up. The goal being long term, it will change its own water, it'll be much easier to maintain, and I will get those hours back over the course of 10, 20 years. You know, so, because we can all set up in a 20-gallon aquarium in about 20 minutes. You just put water in it, throw some equipment on, you're done. So, you know, this is a long-term mentality here, and definitely only recommend it if you're going to be there for a while, because otherwise it's a lot of work to get those long-term returns. So let me know what you guys want to see. If you can think of something you want me to do, or if you saw something in the fish room today that you said, hey, you haven't explained that well enough, either A, it's coming out on a video, or B, maybe I just haven't even thought that someone would want to talk about it yet. I know I'm going to need to do a video on winterizing a fish room. I've got, if we turn over here, I've got a window there that's got this little pull down shade, and I can feel the cold coming in. And so this, you know, as it gets colder, is going to be a real liability for me here. And I've got the doors down low that I need to do something about. You know, these cracks here, it's not so bad because they only go to other indoor areas, so it's not outside. But, you know, I definitely have air leaks, and I kind of want to get my not thermal gun, but my heat temperature gun, and see if I can tell a difference. You know, right down here we can easily see, you know, there's a huge crack there. It's probably a solid inch, inch and a half. Yeah, that's the cold room, and this is the warm room. But, you know, as it gets colder, heat's going to be more premium. And, you know, right now, I've had the door open a little bit today, but I've got my sensor that sits inside my house. We're sitting at 77 degrees in here and 36% humidity, so it's nice and dry. It's relatively warm, and that's where I want to keep it. I want to keep it above 72 at least, maybe even above 74 all winter long. And I know that I should be winterizing now before it's a problem, to save myself money, because I don't want to run anything more than a dehumidifier. I just want to run dehumidifier and lights. And so luckily I'm going to install a bunch more lights. That's going to be some more heat, but you know, it's a long, complicated process to see where we settle out. So anyway, long-winded video. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'll see you on my next day off. We'll see you later.